You are listening to the Manifested Sis podcast, a safe space for women of color to explore all things manifesting, wellness, self-care, and personal development. You are always manifesting, and now you can do it intentionally and consciously to create the life of your dreams. Each episode gives you actionable tips and strategies from the spiritual to the practical that will help you get from where you are to exactly where you want to be with grace and ease. Thanks for tuning in. Here's your host, intuitive life coach, Dani Faust.
Hello and welcome to lucky episode number 13 of the Manifested Sis podcast. My name is Dani Faust and I am your host, and I thank you so much for tuning in today. I am always so grateful when I get folks listening to this podcast. I appreciate every listen, so thank you for coming on back. And if it's your first time, welcome. Go check out a few more episodes after this one. I think you might like it here. So today's episode is brought to you by me. We've heard this one before. If you want personalized one-on-one manifesting coaching, reach out to me. My coaching offers mindset, manifesting, magic, motivation, all smushed together to help you create your dream life with ease. Visit okdani.com/life-coaching to learn more. And if you need guidance from spirit on what your next move is, if you need clarity around something in career or love, you want to find out if your current partner is the one or not, hey, reach out to me for a psychic reading. I will hook you up. You can visit okdani.com/intuitive-readings for more info. Or if you're ready to book, just hop on calendly.com/Coach Dani Faust. Okay? Now, this episode, we are talking about how to choose a psychic or a metaphysical practitioner. Now, this episode is brought about by a friend of mine on Facebook who asked the question about how to choose someone with all the options out there. So if you are not very well versed in the options that are out in the psychic community, it can be overwhelming. But my short answer is really that you have to go with your gut no matter what. So you might find a practitioner that has, really slick, glossy packaging and just is so well marketed, but something just doesn't feel right in your tummy. That's not the one for you, boo. And you have to listen to your gut and not, the marketing or the reviews or whatever. It really is a personal decision. And I can speak from experience that there are very few people that I go to read me, and everyone that I have read for comes back to me instead of going and finding other people. So while there are some people who just like to play around and go find as many people to read for them as possible, most of the time it's something that you come back to, and it's a relationship that develops over time. So it's someone that you want to choose. It's like you're choosing a doctor or a coach or a counselor or a therapist. So you have to give it that much credence and gravity when you're making the decision. So I'm going to give you a few tips today on how to choose a psychic or a metaphysical practitioner. But real quick, before I get into those tips, I just want to share why it's important. I mean, yes, it's a long-term relationship potentially, but also it's not just like talk therapy. You have someone who's getting all up in your energy, who is getting into you, so to speak. And it's intense, and it can be it's vulnerable, and it's sacred, and it really should be held with a lot of importance, because it is really it's an important relationship, and we have to treat it as such. Before I get into the tips, I just want to share with you why it is important to be careful in choosing a psychic or a practitioner. And the main reason is that this is an intimate relationship. there is someone who is all up in your energy, all up inside of you, basically, and can get in your head, can see through you, for lack of a better word. So it's really intimate. You are in a vulnerable position, and you want someone who you can trust, who you know is going to have your best interest at heart, and that you feel safe with for something so intense and close. So I always urge people to really be mindful when they're choosing a practitioner, whether it's me or not. Just, I don't care. If you don't like my vibe, fine. You really have to find someone whose vibe you really, really gel with, and who you trust, whether it's from their marketing or from a one-on-one conversation that you have. You really need to be sure that you feel safe in the space with them, because that'll allow you to open up and to make it easier for them to work with you. And you'll just know that you're safe on the other side of it. So, yeah. Okay, so here are my tips for how to choose a psychic, a metaphysical practitioner, and also, even some of these things will resonate for if you're trying to choose a coach as well. Anyone that you're going to have that type of intimate, honest relationship with. Okay, so tip number 1, which is the biggest and best. So if you want to leave after this tip, go ahead. No, just kidding. Don't leave. But the number 1 tip is go with your gut. Listen, I don't care if you think you're intuitive or not, but you have a gut that tells you yes or no, fight or flight. I mean, your gut will never, ever steer you wrong. It's when you start overthinking the answer that your gut gave you is when you start going wrong. And I know you know what I'm talking about. So go with your gut. Does this person... Do you like their vibe? Do you like their zhuzh? Do you feel good with what they're sharing on their website, on social media if you follow them? How do you feel when you see their messages? When you see their name pop up, for example, on social media, do you roll your eyes like, here comes some bullshit? Or are you just like, yes, I can't wait to see what sis is saying? How do you feel? Go with your gut. And a way to check in with your gut, if you're not sure, if the question is, should I book a psychic reading with Susie? You close your eyes, you take 3 nice, deep, calming breaths, and you ask yourself, and that first little answer, it's so fast. It's like as soon as you ask the question, it's boop. That answer is the right one. Whether it's yes or no, it's the right one. Once you start thinking and hemming and hawing and trying to logic it out, it is the wrong answer. Okay? So go with that first mind. That first mind is the divine talking to you. So you already have your answer right from your gut. My other tips are to watch them. Watch them closely online. People tend to reveal themselves. And if you are watching someone on, if you are watching someone on social media who is a reader, a psychic, or a reiki practitioner, energy healer, and you see them posting really beautiful, curated, thematic posts when they are selling their services, and then when they're not, they are, talking shit, posting world star memes, I don't know, but just really going against character, then you have to kind of take a little deeper look. Like, yes, everyone has balance, but there's a difference with, spreading hateful things or harmful things, or, bashing a subset of the population and having 2 different sides. So really look at what they're sharing. They will out themselves. If they're not really in the vibe that they pretend to be, you will notice it. Your gut will tell you. So I just say watch them, follow them. Before you start working with them, follow them online. And there are many cases where you'll find someone new. You'll just do a quick little cursory glance of their content and just know that they're the one you want to work with. And that's your gut. Then there's some that you're actually going to want to watch. And you have to let yourself own that and say, why am I not just jumping at this person? The fact that you want to watch them closely online is kind of your answer right there. So just sit with that. Also, see what they offer for free. Now, this is not everybody's business model is to share a lot of free content. So this might not apply with the person that you're looking into, but see what they do offer. See if they give information or insight on how to connect with spirit on your own, or if they give guidance on other things that are tangentially related to your growth and well-being, or if it's just always sell, and that's it. You might not feel their vibe if they're just always trying to sell and not try to give. We're healers. We're here to heal. And whether we're getting paid or not, our energy is here to give and help people ascend. So if they're not giving unless they're getting, they might be very, very devoted to the energy exchange, or they just may be out for grabby. And I hate saying that because I don't want to I'm never, ever going to put down another person in this business unless they have done something egregious. But let's be real. There are a lot of con artists. We have heard the story over and over. It's like, it's a joke now. The whole, you see a psychic and they say, oh, girl, someone put roots on you, or somebody put a hex on you, girl. But if you come back tomorrow with another $150, I got you, boo. You just put this salt under your pillow. You good. Like, it is just the age-old scam. And we've all heard about poor Miss Cleo. Call me now for your free psychic reading, with her horrible Jamaican fake accent. Like, oh. So there's a lot out there that we see that is just unsavory. And we really have to use our heart and our mind when we are deciding who we're going to go with. Because like I said before, it's an intimate relationship. So again, on the practical side, the next tip is to look at the reviews, obviously. Now, I'm going to be very candid and say, like, every client I have, almost, I have asked them for a review after they say how amazing the session was. And y'all, I think I got maybe 5% of the people actually leaving reviews. So don't let that be like a deal breaker for you guys. Folks are lazy. Don't nobody want to leave a review. And most people leave reviews when things are bad. So just keep that in mind. Don't let the reviews be a deal breaker. But look at the language that is used in the reviews and see if what the people who have left reviews said resonates strongly with you. And if it does, hey, you know that this is someone that you want to hire. Also, check if the next tip is to check if they are open to questions. I feel like I get a lot of my answers on if I want to work with someone, whether they are a psychic or a metaphysical practitioner, a coach, or any other service provider. I get my answer from whether I want to give them my business if they're willing to answer questions for free. And I know this is my own personal bias, but I'm a giver. I'm a giver by nature. I'm a helper by nature. So I tend to want to do business with people who are similar. So if they're not willing to give even a nugget, I tend to kind of pull back from that type of energy. Now, that is not saying that you're going to go in there and ask for free psychic questions answered or ask them exactly their full process. Don't be greedy and don't, can I pick your brain? No, you may not. Okay. So let me save you that. Don't ask them that. But you just want to see how open they are to a discussion, because this is new for most people. And I think that most practitioners are aware of that and want to make people feel at ease and are willing to answer questions. If they're not, I would kind of get my hackles up. Is that the term? Hackles? Shackles? I don't know. Anyway, I'd pull back. Also, be really discerning. This is the last tip, I think. Yes, last tip. Be really discerning about the language that they use. If the psychic or metaphysical practitioner, especially the psychic, says to you like that they're the only one that can do what they do, if they try to dissuade you from learning things on your own and try to make you feel like you need them in order to connect with spirit, or you need them to do whatever witchy thing that you want, like whatever spell you're trying to get done, or if they try to make you feel like you can't do XYZ and you need them to do XYZ, run, because that's false, period. I personally also tend to shy away from people who are just super self-aggrandizing. It's beautiful and it's a miracle and it's divine what we are privileged to do for ourselves and others. But to act like you're better than because you can do it, it's just no bueno. I mean, it's a gift the same way being really good at math is a gift, but you don't see people like going around like, yo, I got this hypotenuse angle before you did. Ha ha ha. No, nobody does that. So I don't think we should do it with this type of gift either. So that's another personal thing for me. The self-aggrandizing kind of puts me off, and it feels like where are you even vibing if that's where you're coming at? And another one for me is the mean girl marketing. And we see this a lot in all kinds of business, honestly, but And specifically with psychics and spiritual practitioners, metaphysical practitioners, I feel like if you're trying to sell me love and light, use love and light to sell it to me. Don't try to like pit me against other type of people in your marketing. That just does not go. But ultimately, the very most important thing is, how does this person feel to you? They could make all the missteps that I said. They could make you feel like they're the only one who can do it for you. They might not be open to questions. They might have no reviews. They might not offer anything for free, and they might be ratchet online. But you know what? If all that is true and your gut still says yes, bitch, go with them. They're the one for you. So take this and everything else I say with a grain of salt. Again, pull what resonates for you, and what doesn't, toss it aside. Okay? But ultimately, go with your gut on choosing a practitioner, a psychic, a spiritual healer, because your gut is not going to steer you wrong. Okay? I hope this was insightful for you. I hope this was helpful for anyone who is looking to hire a psychic or a manifesting coach, holla at your girl, or any type of metaphysical practitioner. I hope this was useful for you. And if you were on the fence about somebody, then girl, I hope this helped get you off the fence and hopefully closer to communing with spirit through them. All right. So thank you so much for listening. Any questions, of course, as always, please shoot me an email at Dani@okdanny.com. And reach out to me if you are looking for a psychic or a metaphysical practitioner and don't know anybody. Hello. Hi, my name's Dani. Call me. And I will see you next week with another fantastic episode all about manifesting this time. We're getting back on topic, I promise. I'll talk to you next week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.